You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. So, episode 9 of Too Hot to Handle starts off with everybody like getting ready to go to bed or whatever. Joao just kind of thinking about everything that has happened and like saying that he has a lot on his mind. Like, I really don't understand why he's so upset. She really didn't do anything. All she did was open her mind to exploring another option, but she didn't kiss him. She did nothing physical to this dude. She just flirted a little bit, had a conversation with him. That's it. Why are you so upset? Like, I kind of feel like he's afraid that this is the end, and like her head was turned by somebody. Who knows what would happen on the outside world? And it's like you're not even giving it a chance because you're afraid, you're scared. I feel like a lot of them are afraid or whatever. So he kind of they get in the bed, and Flavia is turned one side and he's turned one side because he needs his space, I guess. um Catherine tells Charlie that he has to earn her trust, and she's not going to make it easy on him or whatever. And Charlie says that he learned that honesty is his best tool, and he from this point on is going to try to use it or whatever. Do I believe him? Absolutely not. I feel like he lies for very minuscule things, so I don't know. I don't see somebody that does stuff like that changing, because it doesn't make sense. The stuff that he was lying about wasn't nothing to lie about because it wasn't a big deal, like, at all. I feel like Catherine would have just been like, okay, cool, y'all gave each other massages. I'm just glad you didn't kiss her. I'm just glad you didn't push things too far. You didn't take advantage of the 24-hour pass. I feel like she would have not cared about it, but he lied anyway. And I don't feel like he lied to her because he thought that she would care about it. I feel like Charlie likes doing things on the low. He likes like having a secret, like having this like hidden thing that nobody else knows about. I don't know if that makes things exciting for him or what, but it seems like that. So anyway, everybody get into bed. Chris and Sabrina are in the bed, like, lights are out, they're in the bed. She's trying to convince him to break rules for her, and he's resisting. Like, no, I don't want to break rules. I don't want to spend no money or whatever. Like, you're tempting me, but I'm going to stay true to my no rule break. I've been doing this far. However, he folded. And I don't, to be honest, I'm not mad at him. He was one of the only people that didn't have a connection in there for that long, and this is like the last two couple of days. So, like, to be honest, I feel like he deserves that. I'm not mad at him at all. But Lana has her rules, and if you break them, there are consequences to that. So it goes off, and I mean, they go to sleep, and then the next day everybody wakes up, and like every morning they ask if anybody broke any rules, and everybody says no. Chris is lying. He says no, and I don't understand why he would do that when this is like the end, and like, you might as well just tell the truth. You know what happens when you don't. Like, and I feel like if he would have just been like, yeah, we broke a rule, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm being selfish, but I'm just excited that I finally made a connection, and I just couldn't keep my hands off of her for that reason. If he would have said that, I feel like he would have been straight. Lana wouldn't have gave him no consequences. But of course, Lana comes on, and she says all of the couples will go on a date. This is the end of the season, and all of the couples will go on a date. That's Damari, Bree, Catherine, Charlie, and Flavia and Joao. Um and she she says all of the couples except for the one that broke the rules. And that's when everybody's like, who broke the rules? And that's when Chris admits to breaking the rule. And he like, and they like at the end, like at this point, and Charlie was like, Chris, I understand because you haven't broken a rule this whole time, but it's still not fair because this is like the end, so you should know by now not to do that. But they don't put it, they don't like go too hard on him, but they do tell him that he shouldn't have done it, and he says he know, but like, this is new, and like, I'm happy I finally got somebody to put my lips on, like, lay off of me. But Lana said because they broke the rules, they won't have a date, so it's just Catherine and Charlie, Bree and Damari, and Joao and Flavia ain't. But Lana says since Joao has a lot on his mind, him and Flavia will go on their date that night, and that Damari and Bree and Catherine and Charlie will go on their date that afternoon. So, they get up, they're getting ready for the day and ready for their dates or whatever. And so Damari is talking to Chris, and he tells Chris that he thinks that he's going to ask Bree to be his girlfriend. And Chris is shocked, but at the same time, he's happy, and he's like, that's good, that's big for you. And he was saying that, but Damari was like, I'm nervous because I hope I don't go to my old ways from when I was, but when from before I came here. Like, I'm scared. Like, I don't know if I could trust myself not to hurt her after, asking her to be my girlfriend. Um, but he's like, I do feel like we could work out here. I do cherish the relationship that we have, so I'm going to ask her or whatever. So, Gianna and Lucy are talking about the same thing. Like, who Lucy asked Gianna who she thinks will work on the outside, and she says she feels like Damari and Bree will. Well, Gianna asked Lucy who she feels like will work on the outside, and she said Damari and Bree will, and Gianna was like, I hope so, but I kind of feel like Damari could revert to his old ways, and he could go back to doing how he used to do before he came here or whatever. And he was like, but I do feel like they have a chance, and I hope that they do work or whatever. So they send them on their date. Damari and Bree, I feel like with the black couples, they always give them some nice looking car and some strawberries, and like that's supposed to be like the date. Why do the black couples always get the vehicle with the charcuterie board and the little champagne? Why can't they have cool dates too? Because Charlie and Catherine went, we call it, in the, like, not jet ski, what's the little boat thing, the little raft or whatever you call it, canoeing. They went canoeing. Why Bree and Damari is just sitting in a car or sitting on the hood of a car at the beach? Why do they always give black people cars? I don't get it. Cause on Love Island USA, Cordell and Serena had a car date. Anyway, so they're on that date and they talking, and Brie is talking about like the things that she's been through in her past and how she's afraid of getting hurt again, and that the thing that happened between him and Valentina really did hurt her, and she still sometimes is nervous about it. She's nervous about him on the outside doing what he did to her with the whole Valentina situation. And she's saying that she's been through men lying and cheating and hurting her, and she doesn't, and she's tired of that. She doesn't want to go through that again. And so Damari is sitting there listening to everything that she's saying and taking it in, and the awkward nods that they do with the long pauses. And then it goes to Catherine and Charlie, and they're talking about dating on the outside. And Catherine is like, she doesn't know if she could trust him because of the lies that he's told her, the things that they've been through, and all of the stuff like that. And that he live in a whole other country, like, so it's like it's long distance, and he's like, I've never been in a long distance relationship before, so I don't really know how it's going to work outside of here. And one thing I would say is, I'm glad that Charlie was just honest. Like, I've never been in a long distance relationship, and I don't really know what to tell you to make you feel comfortable. And he's like, I don't know. I don't even know if I can really trust myself on the outside and whether I would, be on my best behavior with us not being around. And the conversation continues, but it goes to Joao and Flavia, and Flavia is like being wanting to like be up under him, cuddling or whatever, and he like tells her that he needs some space, and he asks if she could give him some space for the rest of the day so he can think about things. And like he did that like at the beginning before they went on a date. So she is like laying around and she's saying how much she misses him and how she hopes that she didn't mess things up with him. Um, and I feel the same way I did early when I said earlier. I don't get why he's giving her such a hard time. It really wasn't that big of a deal. I could have seen if she kissed that dude or anything like that, but she didn't. All she did was talk to him. She just had a conversation and she was honest about how she felt, like saying, I am tempted, like I do feel like I'm not reverting to her old ways, but this has been a problem for me in the past or whatever, but I'm fighting it. Like she's fighting it. So why are you giving her such a hard time? It would be different if she did what Charlie did, but she didn't. She's being honest with him about how she's feeling. She didn't have to tell him that. And she's also trying to be patient. And also, most of the time, when you giving somebody the cold shoulder after they're trying to be honest with you about something and you try to make things over with them, and they're trying to make things over with you, sometimes they will move on. They'll be like, well, they not feeling me, so I'm about to move on. But she didn't even do that. She's not even talking to the dude no more. She's not paying him no more attention. So like, why are you giving her such a hard time? It's like getting under my skin a little bit because I feel like if he did that, she would forgive him. I feel like a lot of times men be giving women such a hard time, and he did mention that he feel like it's his pride, and you need to stop letting your pride get in the way of things because she didn't do anything. Talk to another dude, and you mad? Her head turned, nigga, and it's gonna turn in the real world. She gonna be seeing people that she attracted to, but the fact that she's honest with you and she's saying, "This is how I'm feeling. I feel myself wanting to self-sabotage, but I'm not going to do that because you're a great person and I want to be with you," instead of just acting on her feelings like a lot of y'all would have done. But anyways, so then it goes back to Damari and Bree talking, and Damari is telling her like he understands and he wants to commit to her 100%. And he knows what happened, and he apologizes again for what he did to her and how he hurt her. And he told her that, I want to commit to you 100%. And then he asked her if she wanted to be his girlfriend. And she is happy. And she's like, duh, I've been waiting for you to ask me this all week. I was waiting all week for you to ask me this. Like, of course I want to be your girlfriend. And, I don't remember if they got like a light or nothing like that. I think I paused it before any of that happened. Let me see. Okay, they kissed. Yeah, they did get the light. So Lana did give them the green light and they had a kiss. And it's a beautiful moment and I'm happy for them because I was rooting for them. I was gonna be pissed if Brie messed that relationship up after everything that she took him through. But I'm so happy that she didn't do it. She was just making us sweat a little bit. And, probably the producers probably was like, tell him to come in and like act like you gonna kiss him so we can cut right here to make it seem like you're a treacherous whore. That's what they probably told her. And I would be like, no, I'm not doing that. But it is what it is. They boyfriend and girlfriend now. I'm happy for them. Now I'm finna see what's gonna happen with the rest of the episode. Now come back. So Damari and Bree are celebrating their new relationship. She's excited and he's happy. Um, and I'm excited for both of them. Then it goes to Catherine and Charlie, and they're still talking about, the future. Like, what is going to happen after this? Are we going to try to work on things outside of here? And, Charlie was saying how it is hard for him to even think about it for real because they don't live in the same country. Like they're going to be far away from each other, and he doesn't want to hurt her, and he doesn't really know if he can promise that he won't for real. But at the same time, he's like, I've never felt this way about a girl in a long well, I haven't felt this way about a girl in a long time. We have a great connection, and I don't really want to give up on it. And so he tells Catherine that he would like to continue getting to know her outside of the villa. And she's really happy about it. You could tell she was hoping that he would tell her that he wanted that because she wanted the same thing, even though, you know, things have not been perfect for them or whatever. She still really likes him and she still wants to give him a chance to see if he, you know, is the great guy that she sees. Like she sees the potential, and I hope it doesn't bite her in the butt. I hope they are able to work things out and they can have a long distance relationship. And I feel the same way about Bree and Damari. I hope that they can work things out because a lot of the times on these, either the couple on these shows are going to be together and like immediately they start creating families together and they get married and stuff like that, or they break up. Sometimes it's after a little bit of time, sometimes immediately after they leave. So I hope that both couples are able to have a good relationship. So then it goes to Joao and Flavia, and Flavia is getting ready to go on their date, and Joao is as well. And he was talking to somebody about their relationship. I think Christian, and saying he really don't know what he's gonna do. He don't know if he's gonna stay with her or if he's gonna give up on them or whatever. Um, and Christian is basically telling him to follow his heart, like do whatever you feel is the right thing to do, whatever. So they finally go on the date, and they're talking, and Joao is, I think, is kind of saying like how where his head has been at the whole day, and he needed his space, and Flavia starts telling him how she under like I know that I messed up or whatever, but it was just me self-sabotaging. Like I was getting in my own way. I know that you're an amazing guy and I do like you, and it was she told him that she is afraid of commitment, but she do like him, and she realized that she got to face her fears and she wants to be with him. She said she was going to fight for the relationship or whatever, and he's like, he's listening. He's taking stuff in, but he's not really saying a whole lot to reassure her that he wants it. But they were talking about like their time in the house and how they met and how things went or whatever. And he seemed to enjoy that conversation. Um, but then when she starts talking about how she feels and stuff and how she really likes him and she feels like she was afraid of her feelings for him, and when Jalen came in, she self sabotaged. Soon as she says Jalen's name, it seems to like trigger him. Like it triggers him or whatever. Now he's not happy anymore, and like he's not saying anything. And he was like, "Well, I wrote a song about my feelings. Like, do you want me to play the song?" And she's like, "Sure." So he starts playing a song, and basically the lyrics are, is this it for us or something, like is it over for us, is it I think either is it over for us or is this it for, is it over for her, or is this it for her, something like that. And after he was done, she's listening, she's bobbing her head even though she's listening to the words and like, okay, what does he mean by that. You can tell that she's a little nervous or whatever, um because of the words, but like she's trying to hold it together, bobbing her head, even though you could see the uncomfortability on her face. And so he stops, and he just looks at her, and she's like, "I should be asking you that question. Is it over for us?" Like, is this it for us? Is it over for us or whatever? And like he's just staring at her, and then it goes off right there. So we'll see in the last episode what happens. I hope he doesn't mess things up just off of the fact that she had a conversation with the guy. But at the same time, this seems to bother him a lot, and they don't really have time to kind of figure out why it bothers him. So this is the make or break for their relationship. Um, but let me know what y'all think about this episode. This episode seemed really short. It seemed like maybe 40 minutes. It seemed shorter than the other ones or whatever. But it was a pretty good episode. I'm glad that they got to go on. I feel like they should let those couples go on dates anyway, but they just only wait until the end of the show to do that. Um it was pretty. It was pretty good. I liked seeing the couples, make their commitments to each other and things like that. I'm happy for Catherine and Charlie, and I'm happy for Bree and Damari. I hope that Charlie proves me wrong. I'm not saying that I feel like he's gonna just mess up, but what I was saying before about him. I hope he proves me wrong and he's not that person or whatever, because I do want them to be happy. I do want them to be in a healthy relationship. And I also want the same thing for Damari and Bree. But let me know what you think about this episode. How do you feel about the couples making commitments to each other? Do you feel like Catherine and Charlie are gonna last? Do you feel like Damari and Bree are gonna last? Also, do you feel like Sabrina and Chris has a spark? Cause I feel like I see a spark, but it seems mostly sexual, and I kind of feel like Chris seems like he wants to explore a deeper connection, but she seems to, you know, just to be sexual with him. Um, do you think that Joao is gonna break up with Flavia? Do you think it's justified? Do you feel where he's coming from, or do you think he's tripping? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, let me know what you think about this, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgram.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.